G'day, thank you for checking out Make My Dayplan. This is a tour. We're going to go through some of the basic things that you need to do in order to get it set up. Now you can see when we first open up Make My Dayplan that we get a few options, and they're to do with things that we can use to help us get familiar with it. One of them is right there, the demo video, which you're watching right now. There's also things to do with the desktop version, which syncs beautifully with the iPad app, and in order to do that you need to link it with Dropbox. You can find out more information by tapping away, but we're going to tap here to get rid of each of those popovers, and now we can tap to begin. You can see that we're given 4 things that we need to do in order to get started. If we go ahead and tap on dates just here, it shows us how we might get there ourselves next time. And as we go through, the start date is the Monday of the first week, even if you don't actually teach on that day. You can see we can tap on any of these and we get a bit of information. Tap on it, pops up, dismiss it. So here we can tap on that, and then we could choose a different day if we so desired. But if it was a Wednesday and tried to say yep, it reminds us no, it must be a Monday. We say okay, no worries, it's a Monday, done. The end date can be any day of the week that you like, but the last teaching day will probably be the best one to do. The break start and the resume date. So this is assuming that there's going to be one holiday break of a week or more within the semester. So the break start is actually the first Monday of the holidays. So it's not the last day that you teach, but in essence it's the first Monday of the first week of holidays. And the resume date, again, even if you're not teaching on that day, it does need to be the first Monday or the Monday of the first week back at school. Cycle length, you can change that to whatever is applicable. The daily start, this would typically be the time that you would begin the first yard duty each day, and the daily end is when you would finish the last possible yard duty on that day. You can do it differently, but that's how it's intended. The average lesson time, you're not bound by that, but that's the default that it will go back to. And now we can go back to the progress. If by chance you tap somewhere else and you got rid of that, it's right there, the settings button, just here. So we've done something on the dates, it acknowledges that. Static plans. We've got static plans and dynamic plans. The difference there is static plans have the same description or same learning activities each time you teach them, whereas dynamic plans have a different learning activity whenever you teach them. So static plans might be things like assembly, or it might be when someone else takes your class for a period of time. It might be when you have something like silent reading, where you don't need to have a different description each time it's taught. Dynamic plans, generally what we're going to use as teachers, because the children do need to have a bit of variety. They can't have the exact same thing taught to them every time. So dynamic plans will be your unit plans or your term plans, which is different every time that they're taught. And then the last thing we need to do is to set up the day plans, which is just saying what we're going to teach and when we're going to teach it. So let's have a look at the static plans. Shows you there how to get there, and add a new subject. We enter in what it's called. This one's going to be called silent reading. We can tap there, or we can tap return. Either one will take us there. And then we can enter in the details. Now, you normally would enter in as much detail as you can. As much detail as would be beneficial for, say, a relief teacher, a substitute teacher. But in this case, we're going to keep it brief for the sake of this video. The room number as well. Now I can enter in a new one. So here I've just got a couple extras. There's the assembly that there's silent reading that we entered initially, just added assembly, and a couple of unit lessons where someone else comes in to take my class. And once I've done those, then I can just tap back up here to go back to the progress. You can see their progress in settings. So static plans, we've done a couple of those. The dynamic plans shows us how to get to those. And then the little plus will allow us to enter our first plan. So we can call this one my unit plan. So all the activities will go in here. Now I'm going to do it really basic just to show you how it works. So here's a really basic example of how we might do it. So you can see I've really put a lot of thought into those 5 lessons. There's the learning activities, and then here are the resources we're going to be using. And then the assessment review, we could put in there the outcomes that we're teaching toward. You could put how you're going to assess, that sort of thing. So just for this, I'm just going to write done. Now I can go to the next week by doing that, come back, there it is, skip ahead to week 12, whatever I wanted. Let's just go and do something in week 4. Okay, I can add a new one, just like this. This one we're going to call handwriting. Okay, so there's a couple of things. I've done those actually in week 4. So week 4, come back to week 1, and we're going to do F. Okay, so we've done those, done. Come back here to settings. We needed a few more static plans in order to say that we've done enough. And now we can go to day plans. It shows us how to get there. Now, it's already got the first lesson in there for us. So we're actually going to start off with a yard duty. So we here can just type something in. We can clear it if we want to. We can tap this one and it brings up the default yard duties. So I'm going to put in before school, and then I'm going to add, oh, I need to change this first. It's not finishing at 8:50. That one finishes at 8:30. Right in time for the kids. Now add new lesson. You can see it'll start at 8:30. My default lesson time is 50 minutes. So I can either just type in a lesson here, or again I can select it from here. So here we go, they're in alphabetical order. I want to have writing, done. Then I'm going to have assembly. You can see it puts in that it's in the hall. We didn't have a room for writing, so it doesn't come up. And then we're going to have recess. You don't have to have first recess, you can change all that later on, but first recess. Okay, that's Monday's plan. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we can mess around with them. So we probably should add in another one after recess. Let's do handwriting. Done. We might as well add German. Okay. So now, just going to show you how this works. Done. So you can see now, here's our lessons: before school, writing, assembly, first recess, handwriting, German. Now, if I tap on before school, nothing comes up. Tap on writing. Here we go. Assessment review, super cool resources. Here's my awesome plan for writing that I'll use for Monday of week 1. Assembly, first recess, there's nothing in there. Handwriting, F. German explains what goes on for German. Now if I come back, oh hang on, let me show you this. Writing. Now the default is if I swipe up, it goes down, it goes to the next lesson. Like that. What I can do, if I'm on this one here, which is writing, next and previous lessons. So now I can swipe up and I can go to what's there for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I can check out the other things that I've got planned. And it's skipped there straight to week 4. Because there's nothing in between. So it only shows when there's a lesson there. Click somewhere else, it goes back to normal, back to. Okay, so that is the absolute basics. We can of course come back to edit day plan, and then we can put some things in for Tuesday. So again, we can change that and make that before school. And then we can add a new lesson. We could just add in whatever we want. We can just put crazy made up lesson and then we could just go back. Done. And so you'll see a crazy made up lesson, and we can just type in whatever we want. But of course, if we're just making up stuff on the spot, we don't get the benefit of it automatically bringing it in for us. We'll go back to edit day plan, and we can add a new lesson, which is going to be handwriting, and we might as well add writing as well. And then done. So now writing has that, handwriting has that. You can go to timetable, and you can see there, because it's half done, but now I could tap on Monday assembly and it takes me to Monday assembly. So you can see it can be a pretty handy thing. So there you have it, the basics of Make My Day Plan, how to get your lessons in and start to get benefit from them. Another quick one, navigation wise, we can navigate. This just has all the dates in the teaching term. You can see it jumps straight from the 3rd to the 6th because the 4th and the 5th are Saturday and Sunday. And similarly, we have here, we could just go via the week numbers, go to week 3 Wednesday, done. Although it was, I think Monday of week 4 we had something for writing, didn't we? There it is, yeah, it's week 4, still working on our writing. So you start to get an idea for how you navigate around the program. Everything that you go to has a done button up the top. Well, has a done, blue done button somewhere, either up the top or down the bottom. Tap on it to get back to the home page. So have an explore and let me know how you go. Cheers guys, see ya.